What's up everyone, Joseph J. DeGapple here. Welcome to the series Holiday Tech Gift Guide 2012, and in this episode I will be covering cameras. When purchasing the camera, there is a lot of things to consider, whether it's the price or the level of experience, whether you want a point and shoot or a DSLR with more versatility and interchangeable lenses. And in this episode I will be running up from the price scale from low to high, and every single product featured in this video will be linked with its best, most updated price down in the description. So let's start out with the lowest range, which is the digital point and shoot cameras. In terms of the best value you will get, my suggestion will be the Canon ELPH 110HS camera. This retails just around $140. It features a 16.1 megapixel CMOS sensor, 1080p full HD video recording, 5x optical zoom, 3.0-inch LCD screen, and Smart Auto, which is really good for people who are just starting out to get some good photos where the camera would set the mode for you. And it has a face detection, and it pretty much just automatically sets the focus and exposure when it senses a face. So this camera is very popular. It is kind of like a predecessor to the ELPH 300HS. This is used by a lot of vloggers, one of them noting as Ty's iPhone Help. As you may know, his vlog channel Ty Moss, they use this camera, so it is a very popular vlog camera, especially for its price point. Moving up, we are still in the point and shoot category, but this time it is a little more of a higher end point and shoot camera that has better specs and overall gives you a better performance but still retaining the small size. This is the Sony HX10V. This camera will retail you at about $300. It features a big 18.2 megapixel CMOS sensor with a great Sony G lens, so you'll definitely get some really nice colors, vibrance in this Sony lens. I personally have the HX9V, which I really enjoy. It also shoots 1080p full HD AVC HD video. It has a 3.0-inch 921K dot display, so it's definitely a very beautiful display. It has 16x optical zoom, which means it's actually a physical zoom, so you'll be able to zoom in 16 times, which is just really good. And it also shoots at 10 frames per second if you want to capture something like sports where it's a really fast moving. This will definitely be able to capture those clips with the 10 frames per second photos. It also has a GPS and compass built in for geotagging, as well as a Biones processor for really fast focus. Moving up into the DSLR, I'm going to start out by talking about a very basic entry-level DSLR, which is for those who may be just starting out with photography, who may not have a lot of experience but want a very basic, cheap DSLR price. So this is a Canon Rebel T3. This has been around for a while, but for any amateur photographer who wants a DSLR-like hardware, this is definitely a very good option. This will cost you just around $450. It has a 12.1 megapixel APS-C size CMOS sensor, 18 to 55 kit lens included, which is just like a very basic lens that can just get the job done for an amateur. And it has 720p HD video and 9-point autofocus and a 100 to 6400 ISO range. So this has a lot of features that the higher end DSLRs may have, or the mid end DSLRs may have, for a very good price point. I wouldn't really recommend this if you're hoping to do video, but for photo or amateur photographer who's just starting out, who wants the hardware and the APS-C size sensor, this is definitely a very good option. And for those who want to get started on video, I definitely recommended the T2i. Moving on, this is probably just about the mid-range of DSLR cameras, which is a Canon EOS Rebel T4i. The T4i has an 18.0 megapixel CMOS sensor, which is the same sensor seen in the Canon T3i and the Canon T2i. It has a new 3-inch Clearview LCD with touchscreen. This is still a very angled display, so you could flip it around, for example, if you're going to be taking portrait shots, so you could see yourself on the LCD display. I find this feature very handy. And one of the biggest features, in my opinion, is the fact that it now has autofocus or continuous autofocus in video mode. I'm actually shooting with the T3i right now, which is mostly the same, which you can get for a pretty good price, but one of the key features of the T4i, like I said, is a continuous autofocus. The model I recommend is the $900 model, which comes with an 18-135 Canon STM lens, which overall just gives you a faster and quieter autofocus, especially in video mode. So last but not least, I'm going to give you guys my suggestion for a camera for those who don't really have a price limit. And this is the Nikon D800. This camera is a body-only camera and it will set you back at about $3,000. I know there are a lot of other options around this range such as the Canon 5D Mark III, but this camera in my opinion delivers you probably one of the best photos as well as one of the top-notch video qualities you can get with a full-frame DSLR. This really sticks out with a 36.3 megapixel CMOS FX sensor, a 3.2 inch LCD 921K display, and 51 autofocus points, and again 1080p full HD video. So I'm not really a huge photographer here, but from looking at these specs, this camera is definitely very promising. It does seem like a dream camera for a lot of you out in the market. So this is it for the camera episode of Holiday Tech Gift Guide 2012. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Stay tuned for some more episode of Holiday Tech Gift Guide 2012 and let me know what other categories you would like to see covered. So thanks for watching guys, I'll see you guys in my next video.